Hey there! June is very special because it marks a 10-year anniversary of a trip that I made and that changed my life. So come along as I go back to a few of the most amazing places and landmarks through Europe. Starting with my cover page, I thought I would draw a plane hatch because I actually spent hours by one. But watching the land from up above has always been an exciting introduction to any new adventure, despite how long the flight might be. The best travel tip that I learned and that I could give is to travel light. There is nothing worse than carrying luggage around. And this also helps to avoid buying too many souvenirs. After all, I really think that the best souvenirs are the pictures and the memories that we make along the way. For this particular trip, we visited 14 different places in a little bit less than a month. We were really tired at times, but we got to see so much, learn so much, and meet so many different persons, cities, and towns, that all the cultural enrichment was the greatest reward for all the exhaustion. Anyway, the first stop was Nice in the French Riviera. A whimsical, colorful coastal city. We spent the day there with friends. By night, we went to a handcrafts market. We saw the city and ate at a local food restaurant. I really can't remember what I ate, but I definitely recall that the dessert was delicious. One of the highlights that you will see very often in my travels is food. I love taking pictures of food, of course enjoying it. I think it's one of the best things of traveling, getting to try all the different flavors that every country has to offer. Now here is a perfect quote for this trip. One's destination is never a place, but a new way of seeing things. Most times we are excited to see the places, but oftentimes it is the new perspectives that we gain, what we remember and appreciate the most, because they can change our lives for the better. And this trip was no exception. Our next stop was Monaco, a country in a pocket, I would say, because it's so little, but it teems with life and this sense of luxury everywhere. I was truly impressed by how spotless it was. Everything was perfectly organized and the views from up above were truly breathtaking. For this breath, where I will be adding my mouthed board, I decided to just draw a little bit of Monaco's shore. And honestly, I have always preferred empty shores. But there is something about this country with its little charming homes and its well-organized streets that makes it seem as if you are inside a very fancy fairy tale. So it's something that definitely inspired me, and that's why I decided to add a little easy drawing with inks to the pages. We only spent one day in Monaco. We went up to the palace and we got to see the changing of the guards, which was nice to be there just in time. And then we just spent the day walking through the streets, going down to Monte Carlo, and we saw the casino and the Ferraris and all the fancy jazz. And as we were going back to Nice on the train, we stopped on this beautiful lonely beach, which instead of sand had stones. We got to swim there, refresh ourselves, then eat, and we headed back to Nice just to spend the night there because the next day we would go to our next stop. I made a mistake, and so we had to lose one flight, and instead we took a fast train to Paris, which happened to be a happy mistake because we went through the French province and it was beautiful to see all those farms and lands full of lavender fields. But once in Paris, we spent there 3 days and got to visit, of course, the Eiffel Tower, Montmartre, the Arch of Triumph, which has an amazing view of the city, and we also went to the Louvre. Near the Louvre in Champs-Élysées, we went to this restaurant that had the most amazing creme brulee, which I am drawing right here because it was one of the highlights. And also I got to try for the first time the French macarons, which honestly are the best cookie ever. Paris was a beautiful place to visit, and it has to be said, on the first day of our tour, we not only saw that a thief robbed a tourist, but also my friend got her wallet taken out from her purse. I'm glad we didn't notice, but we were left just with my credit card and at least she had her documents somewhere else. But this can happen anywhere in the world, of course, and in a sense we were glad that it happened at the beginning of our trip, because that way we were a lot more aware of where our valuable things were, and we were a lot more careful. Of course, being the fact that it was only me, the one that had money left. But all in all, despite it all, I think these are things that actually happen. You can only stay safe, try to do your best, and still enjoy the whole experience. You know, don't let the downsides of any city in this world rob you of the joy of visiting and getting to know places. So yeah, that's the little experience that we had there. We then flew to London, a destination I had been dreaming of visiting. I feel that there is this inexplicable emotion when you see a landmark for the first time right in front of you. The impact of seeing what you knew only from books makes up for a very exciting experience. And that's how I felt with the Big Ben, which I had seen especially on tales or children movies. But now seeing it standing there in all its majesty was surreal, but really amazing. The same can be said of any other landmark, but I don't know why Big Ben had a special place in my mind. Again, being a food person, I distinctly remember a plum pastry that I tried near Trafalgar Square. It was a very tiny coffee shop, and we just had that and some coffee. But I have to say that English pastries are among my favorites. There's just something about it that is so sweet and savory at the same time, and just so delicious. I wish I could go back to try them all, because honestly, it's one of the things that I remember the most of being in London. We lost our next plane, and later we were kind of glad we did, because again, we took a bus to Edinburgh, and the view made us feel as if we were living inside a painting. Edinburgh is a beautiful, cozy city that made us fall in love with its atmosphere and its hot cocoa, which I will be drawing here later. But we got to visit the Museum of Childhood, which is a whimsical and happy place, and we also got to hear a man playing the bagpipes for the tourists. And here you see me painting Edinburgh's castle, which we didn't get to visit, but at least we got to see it from afar. The way it is standing on top of that hill with all the city around it really reminded me of those movies with kings and knights, and honestly, all that atmosphere had me really, really happy. I felt I was living in a fairy tale. I'm really excited for this next stop, which was one of my dreams. The Lake District in the middle of England. It was home to Beatrix Potter, the famous writer and illustrator of children's books. I finally got to experience a place that inspired her. It was as if time stood still here. I really wish I could stay there and take in all that creation has to offer in this little piece of paradise. Actually, if I could go back to just one of all the places I went to, this would be it. It is breathtakingly beautiful. For this spread, which will be my doodle challenge, I decided to use these beautiful watercolor paintings from the Hilltop information pamphlet because I just love the way they look, and all in all I feel that the doodle challenge spread is already full of drawings and I felt that this would go very well with it, so I just added some washi tape and then left the space for all the doodles to come, which by the way this month will be traveling related, so if you would like to see me do those, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And then we took a train to Liverpool, home of the Beatles, where we had a blast going to their museum and to the 3D experience. It was really exciting to be in the city that watched them grow, to walk the same streets and to see the Mersey River. We also tried some delicious hot cocoa with marshmallows and a brownie with ice cream. It was in a restaurant right there on the Albert Dock. We got to go up the Wheel of Liverpool, and to be honest I was a little bit scared because it was moving a lot with the wind, but I would definitely do it again because seeing things from up above is always exciting. Liverpool was for us like a chance to rest a little bit because we were not running around looking for landscapes or taking tour buses. We just did the Beatles thing and the wheel, and we got to go to a restaurant and enjoy the food, and this was a perfect ending to our United Kingdom experience because from there we took the traditional black English cab to the airport, and if you want to find out where we went next, then you will have to watch my first weekly of June, which will feature our next stop. So to finish off here, I'm just drawing me. This was a picture of me in front of the Mersey River, and it's a very nice memory. I was very happy that I got to go there. And of course I'm just drawing the hot cocoa with that mountain of marshmallows and the brownie, which was amazing. I think of it and my mouth waters. I went back to the previous spread because I forgot to add the name of the place, and also I am adding more sparkling little dots to all the spreads that I forgot to add it to. So here is the final flip through. I loved this theme. It made me go back in time to some of the happiest memories of my life. I believe that spreads like this, that are born from our own experiences, make of journaling a delightful process, a celebration of the great moments that we have had, and a display of appreciation for the lessons we have learned and the people we are grateful for. So if there was a particular trip in your life, a memorable week, or even just a day that has a special place in your heart, why not dedicate a spread to it? You will find renewed happiness and gratitude for those wonderful moments in which we find happiness. This is it for now, but I still have more places to show you from this trip, which will come with the weekly spreads. So subscribe if you would like to see those, and don't forget to click the notification bell if you really want YouTube to notify you of my new uploads. I hope you have a lovely week, and as usual, thank you so much for watching.